Welcome to today's video on how to file your taxes when your employer has gone bankrupt or is refusing to send your W-2. We will walk through your legal rights, deadlines, and a practical, step-by-step plan to get your return filed on time. We will also cover how to use Form 4852 as a substitute, what the IRS expects, and what delays to anticipate. Finally, we will include quick quizzes to confirm your understanding and finish with key takeaways and a brief disclaimer. Here is our agenda. First, we will discuss the legal deadlines and why the IRS will not wait for a late W-2. Next, we will cover the exact information to gather from your final pay stub. Then, we will discuss how to contact the IRS and how to file using Form 4852. After that, we will set expectations about timing and possible delays. Finally, we will review key takeaways and test your knowledge with a couple of quick quizzes. Legally, the employer is solely responsible for issuing your Form W-2, and the statutory deadline is January 31st. If your employer is shut down, bankrupt, or unwilling to cooperate, you still have to file your return. The IRS does not allow you to wait indefinitely for a non-compliant employer. Instead, after January 31st, you should contact the IRS and be prepared to file using Form 4852, which is a substitute for Form W-2. Expect additional verification time if you file with a substitute form. Begin by securing your final pay stub or a year-end statement from your employer or payroll portal. This document should show year-to-date totals for wages, federal income tax withheld, Social Security and Medicare withholding, and any state and local withholding. It should also list your employer's name, address, and employer identification number if available. Keep in mind that income is reported and taxed based on the date of payment, not the date of work performed. Therefore, compensation paid in January for December work will be included in the W-2 for the year of the January payment. Here is a step-by-step plan. First, after January 31st, if your W-2 has not arrived, note your attempts to obtain it and move forward. Second, gather your final pay stub and employer details. Third, contact the IRS at 800-829-1040 to report the missing W-2. They will record the issue and may contact the employer. Fourth, prepare to file using Form 4852, either directly or through tax software that will guide you through substitute W-2 questions. Fifth, file your return by the deadline rather than waiting for a non-compliant employer. Finally, keep an eye on your mail and your IRS account for any follow-up, and expect additional processing time because the IRS will verify your reported income. This timeline starts with December, when final wages may be earned, and then moves to January 1st through January 31st, which is the window in which the employer must mail the W-2. If February 1st arrives without a W-2, you contact the IRS at 800-829-1040. From mid-February through March, you gather your pay stub data and complete Form 4852. By April 15th, or the applicable filing deadline for the year, you file your return on time. After filing, the IRS may take additional time to verify the information, which can delay any refund. When you call the IRS at 800-829-1040, have your full name, address, and Social Security number ready. Also have your employer's name, address, phone number, and the employer identification number if it is known. Provide estimates of your wages and tax withholding from your final pay stub. Refer to the official IRS resource page for missing or incorrect W-2s at the link provided. The IRS may reach out to the employer and will note your account, but you are still expected to file by the deadline. On the left, the W-2 is the employer-issued official statement of your wages and taxes withheld, which must be postmarked by January 31st. It typically allows faster processing without additional verification. On the right, Form 4852 is a substitute that you file when the W-2 is missing or incorrect. It relies on your best information from pay stubs and other records. Using Form 4852 can slow down processing because the IRS may need to verify the data, but it is an acceptable method to file on time. This table lists items you should gather before filing. Your final pay stub gives year-to-date totals for wages and taxes. Employer information, including the EIN if available, is needed for Form 4852. Your personal information is required to file. Keep notes on your contact with the IRS as documentation that you reported the missing W-2. If you file using Form 4852, be prepared for additional IRS verification. This can extend processing times and delay refunds compared to a standard e-file with a W-2. Opt into direct deposit if possible to speed receipt once approved. Monitor your status using the IRS Where's My Refund tool and your IRS online account for updates. Quiz time. The question is, by what date must an employer have your W-2 postmarked each year? The options are A. January 31st, B. February 15th, C. April 15th, and D. December 31st. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is A. January 31st. That is the legal deadline for employers to mail Form W-2 to employees. Here is the second quiz question. For payroll taxes, income is reported based on the date it is which of the following: earned, paid, invoiced, or deposited by the employer's bank. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. Paid. Income is reported based on when you receive payment. Work performed in December but paid in January belongs to the new tax year and will be reported on that year's W-2. This mind map shows the categories of information you will pull from your final pay stub, starting from gross pay, which includes year-to-date totals and any bonuses, to federal income tax withholding, to FICA withholding for Social Security and Medicare. It also includes state and local tax withholding, employer details such as name, address, and EIN, and other items such as retirement contributions and benefits that may appear on your stub. These data points help you complete Form 4852 accurately. Here are the key takeaways. Employers must provide W-2s by January 31st, but if they do not, you must still move forward. Use your final pay stub and file with Form 4852 if needed. Contact the IRS at 800-82-91040 and keep records of your communication. Anticipate slower processing and possible refund delays. Finally, remember that wages are taxed based on the date you were paid, not when you earned the wages. To wrap up, do not wait on a non-compliant or bankrupt employer. Gather your pay stub data. Call the IRS after January 31st to document the missing W-2 and be ready to file with Form 4852. File on time and monitor your return for verification and status updates. Disclaimer: this content is for general educational purposes only and does not constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. Regulations can change and individual circumstances vary. For advice specific to your situation, consult a qualified tax professional. This video is focused on United States federal filing rules. State and local rules and deadlines may vary. Always verify with official IRS resources, including the page for when you do not get a W-2 or your W-2 is wrong. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe for more practical tax guides. Share your questions and experiences in the comments so we can continue to help others in similar situations.